Hello and welcome to IK Photo Reviews, and today we will be taking a look at a very important segment of cars in the Kenyan market. These are decent cars that you might consider if you want to upgrade from a Demio, a Vitz or a Honda Fit, or maybe it might even be that you want to get your first car. So stay tuned because we will be comparing these cars extensively and help you decide on which one you should go for. These are the 2013 Toyota Auris, the 2013 Subaru Impreza, and lastly the 2012 Mazda Axela. These are all Japanese cars. The Mazda Axela and Subaru Impreza are also available in saloon versions, but today we will be measuring on the hatchbacks. Before we start the review, I would appreciate it if you would kindly consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars. You can also kindly support the channel by donating, and leave the details in the description box. The fact that these are common cars on Kenyan roads is a true testament of how reliable and durable they are. The previous generations did not disappoint, and that's why people keep buying them whenever newer generations set foot into the Kenyan market. So as usual, we will begin with their purchase costs, which will always depend on the mileage, the features, as well as the overall condition of the car. The Toyota Auris costs around 1.15 million, the Impreza around 950,000 shillings, and the Axela around 900,000 shillings. These are the starting prices, so expect to pay slightly more if the vehicle has got lots of features and is in overall better condition. The Mazda is the most affordable car here, while the Toyota Auris is the most expensive. Note that there is the 2013 Mazda Axela that is beginning to show up on Kenyan roads. It's quite a good looking car that is underpinned by Mazda's Kodo design. It's more expensive than the 2012 model in this comparison. We will review that car at a later date, but today let's measure on the 2012 model. Moving on to insurance costs, expect to pay 7,000 shillings for each car for the third-party insurance, while for comprehensive insurance, the Toyota Auris should cost around 46,000 shillings per annum, the Impreza and the Axela around 36,000 shillings per annum each. As for the engine options, there is a 1.5 litre as well as a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine in the Auris. It's available in front or all-wheel drive. These engines can be coupled to either a CVT or a 6-speed manual transmission. The Impreza is also available with two engine options, a 1.6 litre or a 2.0 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine. The transmission options on offer are either a CVT or a 5-speed manual. You can get this car in either front or symmetrical all-wheel drive. Lastly, the Axela can come with either a 1.5 litre, a 2.0 litre, or a very powerful but rare 2.3 litre 4-cylinder turbo engine. The particular variant with this powerful engine was known as the Mazda Speed Axela, which unfortunately stopped being produced in 2013. This car is also available in either front or all-wheel drive. The transmission options on offer include a very impressive 6-speed torque converter automatic, a 5 or 6-speed manual, and lastly a CVT. So this Mazda Axela is the only car in this comparison that has a proper 6-speed automatic, as opposed to the CVT automatic in the Auris and Impreza. Before we proceed on to fuel consumption, let's talk a bit about these engines. These are all simple engines which for the most part are very reliable and dependable. There's no major issue worth pointing out in any engine here. Both the 1.5 litre and 1.8 litre in the Auris will get the job done. They are powerful enough even on long journeys. The 1.8 litre is slightly more powerful than the 1.5 litre as expected. Moving on to the Impreza, the 2.0 litre is noticeably more powerful than the 1.6 litre when accelerating from a standstill. The 1.6 litre is more frugal when it comes to fuel consumption, but it also packs adequate power that can enable the car to be taken out on a long journey, although it will feel slightly strained on an incline, especially if it's loaded. When it comes to the Mazda Axela, the 1.5 litre and the 2.0 litre are just as good as the competitors. They pack in decent power for town runabouts as well as long journeys. But as expected, the 1.5 might feel a little underpowered, but it will still get you to your destination. The more powerful 2.3 litre turbo is quite rare and also expensive to maintain because it's a performance car, so it has a turbo that you will have to watch out for and maintain well. For the driving enthusiasts, this is the engine to go for. It's quite a fun car to drive. Let's now talk fuel consumption figures. Expect to get around 18 kilometers to the litre in the 1.5 litre Toyota Auris and around 15 kilometers to the litre in the 1.8 litre engine. You will have to be very light on the accelerator to achieve these figures. The 1.6 litre in the Impreza will get around 16 kilometers per litre for variants without the idling stop feature, while those with this feature will add 1 more kilometer to the fuel range, so that is around 17 kilometers per litre. The 2.0 litre will achieve around 15 kilometers per litre, which is not bad considering that this is the most powerful engine. Moving on to the Axela, expect around 17 kilometers to the litre in the 1.5 litre engine, around 16 kilometers per litre in the 2.0 litre engine, and lastly around 10 kilometers per litre in the more powerful 2.3 litre turbo engine. So these engines are quite fuel efficient. Even the more powerful engines like the 1.8 litre in the Auris and 2.0 litre in the Impreza and Axela still give decent fuel efficiency figures, yet they are still powerful enough. The Auris has a 50 litre tank, the Impreza a 60 litre tank, which is the largest in this comparison, and the Axela a 55 litre tank. When it comes to service costs, it will cost around 10,000 shillings to service each car here for the minor service, which should be done after every 5,000 kilometers, while the major service, which should be done after 10,000 kilometers, will cost around 17,000 shillings for each car. So these are cars that are affordable to maintain. Now let's look at the carb weights of each of these cars. The Auris weighs around 1,270 kgs, the Impreza around 1,320 kgs, and the Axela around 1,260 kgs. Let's now quickly look at some of the extra features you can get with each of these cars before we look into their exteriors and interiors. Expect to get the Toyota Auris with features such as paddle shifts, panoramic glass roof, USB charging ports, smart start, alloy rims, fog lights, and an automatic AC. The Impreza can come with features such as a rear spoiler, a sunroof, fog lights, alloy rims, steering mounted controls, USB charging ports, idling stop feature, eyesight system, paddle shifts, smart start, and roof rails. Lastly, the Axela can come with features such as leather seats, a navigation, rain sensing wipers, curtain airbags, a Bose audio system, alloy rims, paddle shifts, steering mounted controls, and a keyless start. So these cars are relatively well kitted when it comes to optional features. We can now talk about the exterior designs. Let me know in the comment section which car you will go for based on looks alone. I think the Auris has an elegant look. It tends to look more expensive compared to the other two cars. The Axela has a bit of a sporty profile, especially the variants that have a spoiler and a body kit. Lastly, I think the Impreza strikes a balance between a sporty and elegant look. Based on looks alone, I would say the Auris takes the day. It's both elegant and mature, so it will not only appeal to younger people but also older people. Moving on into the interior, most of the materials are plastic, but everything feels well bolted together in each of these interiors. The build quality is good. There's not much to complain about. The Toyota Auris gets a vertical dash design with big rectangular AC vents at the top. It's quite a simplistic yet slightly modern design. The front seats get manual adjustments but are comfortable. At the back there's decent space on offer. There's also no hump for the transmission tunnel, so 3 passengers can comfortably be accommodated even on a long journey. Lastly, the boot is also decent enough. It can swallow 2 large suitcases and a few soft bags. If the need for more space arises, then the back seats can fold in a 60-40 split configuration. Let's now move on to the Subaru Impreza, which has a simple yet functional dash design. Everything is placed where it should be, from the AC controls to the infotainment screen, which is just below the 2 rectangular AC vents. The small screen at the top of the dashboard provides the driver with all the relevant information, and it's also clear even during the day. Again, the seats are comfortable and get manual adjustments. At the back, the space is decent and the doors also open quite wide, so ingress and egress will be a breeze. Just like in the Toyota Auris, the rear seats can also be folded down in a 60-40 split fashion whenever more space is needed. Lastly, let's have a look at the Mazda Axela. The layout of the dashboard is almost similar to the one in the Impreza, with the digital information display at the top, then the infotainment screen, then the AC controls. Everything is well within reach. The seats are comfortable with plenty of manual adjustments. At the back, again, just like in the other 2 cars, the space is not that much, but it's decent and can accommodate 3 passengers of average height comfortably. There is a slight hump at the center, so the passenger seated at the center will not be as comfortable. Like in the other 2 cars, the back seats can fold in a 60-40 split fashion, and the boot is also well sized. It can take 2 large suitcases and a few other smaller items. So there you have it. These cars are all fuel efficient, fairly practical, and they drive well, especially the Mazda Axela. They have soft rides, so most road undulations will be ironed out by the suspensions. So which one should you go for? The Auris is an excellent choice. It might be expensive both to buy and insure, but it has a very good resale value. It will also sell quite easily. So go for this car if you reckon that you will need to dispose it off after a few years of usage. Even if you plan on keeping it for a long time, no problem. It will stand the test of time and will always keep going with just regular routine maintenance. If you are on a slightly tight budget, without a second thought, go for the Mazda Axela. It's the most affordable option here, yet it's also the most engaging to drive. The 6-speed automatic transmission is very precise and responsive. This car has an overall better handling compared to the other 2 cars. Its resale value is not as good as that of the Auris, so this is a car that you should buy if you intend to keep for a long time. It's also just as reliable as the Toyota Auris, so it will serve you for a long time. Last but not least, I would say the Impreza strikes a balance between the Auris and the more affordable, fun-to-drive Axela. It's a durable car, just like many other Subarus, so go for it if you like the car. There's no bad car here, but if I were to give my recommendation, I would tell you to go for the Toyota Auris. If for some reason you don't want or are unable to get the Toyota Auris, then get the Mazda Axela. It's more affordable and better to drive. It's just as good, if not better, than the Impreza. So thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any enquiries, feel free to reach me via email or WhatsApp. Stay safe, drive safe, stay healthy. See you in the next video.